Hey guys, Hammer back here with a collection video. Um, I recently picked up a Batman 80th anniversary film collection on Blu-ray. Uh, Price tag, here it is. The price tag was right around 50. I think it was right at 50 actually. $49.99 at Best Buy and Walmart. A couple dollars more at Target, I think. Um, but yeah, 50, 50 bucks, 18 films. That's a pretty good deal. I mean, it's a little bit pricey, but for 18 films, I guess it just depends how much you like Batman animation. I personally just kind of reasoned that I kind of wanted the Killing Joke. That's in here. I remember I liked Mask of the Phantasm when I was a child. It came out when I was about 10, I think. So there's another one I wanted. And then on top of that, I knew there was some that are well respected that I hadn't seen yet, like Under the Red Hood, um, The Dark Knight Returns, Part 1 and Part 2. Uh, Superman, Batman, Public Enemies. So I just thought, with some of those thinking I'd like to see them, if you get them down to around $10 for five you want to see, I mean, that's not a bad deal. Or if you just divide it out and say, hey, look, I'm going to watch all these over time, and 18 films, I mean, it's a little over $2 a piece, between $2 and $3 a piece. So I figured it was worth checking it out and letting you all see it. There's the front. There's the the two boxes there, the two cases. I was debating whether to call that the spine or that the spine. I don't know. I would probably have it like this, I guess. So I guess technically that would be the spine that you see. Pull it out here. Oh, well, I should show you this. This is the film, the names of the films. I'm not sure if you can read that or not, but I will be going through each disc individually, so it's not too much of a concern. Comes with Batman Year One mini comic. Kind of let you see the art here. There. And this is one of the films in the set, Batman Year One. Okay, let that aside. Oops, I slid it off my couch. Mix these up now. Let me make sure I got them in order. Okay, yeah. Alright, so here's the first set. And you got Batman, Gotham Knight. I spent 2 days, two and a half days watching these. So I've seen a bunch of these, I think around 10 out of the 18. But I have not seen them all, so I'll just kind of let you know what they're about, what I thought, I guess. A little nervous about that because some of them that are pretty well beloved I'm not the hugest fan of, but but that's okay. Okay, so anyhow, Batman Gotham Knight. I have not watched that one yet. Okay, so Batman Year One. This one's the one you're going to want to watch if you're a Jim Gordon fan. Even though it's Batman Year One, it's got a heavy amount of Jim Gordon in his first year with the Gotham PD. To the point that two different reviews of it on Letterboxd just say Jim Gordon Year One. So that's not necessarily detrimental in my mind, but it's certainly you want to be ready for a heavy dose of Jim Gordon in that one. There is Batman. I mean, it's after Batman's training and how he does on his first year. So you see him before the costume and developing the costume and that sort of thing. Batman Under the Red Hood. I don't want to give away, obviously, the story, so there's not a whole lot I can say, but obviously, we know the story of the Red Hood. It's not the Joker story, but it's a good movie. Very well drawn. I like the animation. Well, that's all I really want to go into about that. But got Batman, Bad Blood. And that's going to be your story if you are a big fan of like your spin-off characters. You get Batwoman in here, you get Robin, you get Nightwing, but the plot of the story is that Batman disappears, so Nightwing actually takes up the mantle of Batman. I don't really consider that a spoiler. I'm sorry if you do. It's very early on that all that develops. And then it goes some interesting places. It goes some interesting places. So there's that one. Batman versus Robin. I did not check that one out yet. Son of Batman. I did not check that one out. And if you're thinking that these are out of order, if you're a lot more knowledgeable than I am about these, they may be. I don't know. This is just the order they came in. There's Batman, The Dark Knight Part 1. And I gotta tell you, okay, so they introduce a female Robin named Carrie. Is it Carrie Kelly? I'm not sure. I think she is a strong part of this film. In part 1, they introduce the idea of mutants, and as somebody who's actually a little more of a Marvel fan, it's a little jarring to hear DC even use the word mutants. And then when they show up, I mean, they're kind of like, they kind of look like X-Men Morlocks. Like, they got like funky like spikes and weird hair and stuff, or mostly they're bald actually, but they have weird spikes and stuff coming out of their heads, and they all have like an optic. It looks like an optic blast, like a Cyclops type thing, but as far as I can tell, they don't actually do anything. I don't remember them doing anything, so it's jarring in the first place, and then also they don't really do anything. So I don't know why they're called mutants. And look, I get that I've never read the graphic novel, and I know it's well beloved, and that's fine. I'm not really criticizing it. I'm just telling you that from my perspective, I don't love that part. I don't love the mutants. I love the use of the word mutants for this sort of person, and I don't know. It was jarring and kind of, I don't know. I didn't get it, but anyway, so that's what Superman. That's what Batman, The Dark Knight Returns Part 1 is about. It's about the mutants, the introduction of Robin. And I think, well, yeah. And then, so we got Batman, The Dark Knight Returns Part 2. And in that one, that's where Superman comes into play. And, I have largely the same concerns I have with Batman versus Superman, which is that I don't think the characters come off as particularly authentic to their own characters. It's one thing if you're setting up a totally different world where like with the new Superman Red Sun, right? It's what if Superman had landed in Soviet Russia, or I don't know specifically, I've not seen it, but something like that is the idea. And that's fine. I can go down that road. But when largely in this, Superman and Batman are our versions of Superman and Batman, but yet they make these decisions where I just don't really understand. Like in this, Superman is just throwing jets out of the air. Now, granted, they're Soviet jets, but those are still people, and I don't know that Superman would allow himself to be used as a war machine. I know it's like, it's a cartoon, it's a comic, whatever, but for me personally, I'm just not the hugest fan of that. Again, if it was some totally different setup, like I was not one of the people that was upset by Captain America joining Hydra, because it was just a totally separate thing, right? Like it's just like a what if kind of thing. So I don't know. That's my thoughts. But obviously it's super well beloved, and I'm sure tons of people love these two films, and much love to you if you do. I no problem with that. Batman Assault on Arkham, and I also didn't watch that. I believe it has Suicide Squad in it, so I will be eager to check that out at some point, but I just have not gotten the chance. Okay, so there's half of the set down. Here's the second half. Okay, Batman the Killing Joke. This one, it's rated R. One of two in the set that's rated R. The Killing Joke is really gritty. It's kind of two parts. The first part sets up the relationship between Batgirl and Batman, and the second part is about Joker, and he does some really, really dark stuff. I don't want to say too much. We'll say that he attacks Barbara Gordon and her father, and he kidnaps the commissioner and puts him through hell, basically. And Batman has to try to stop him, and I guess the crux of the film is kind of, will Batman be pushed over the edge? Will he kill Joker? So, Batman Killing Joke. I really love this one. I know it wasn't really that well received, but I don't know. Maybe that's something to do with differences from the graphic novel. I know this adds a lot of stuff, but I am a big fan of that. Batman versus Harley Quinn, or no, Batman and Harley Quinn. This is a story where Batman, Nightwing, and Harley Quinn team up to stop Poison Ivy and some big green plant guy. It is not Swamp Thing. I don't remember the guy's name. This one I made the mistake, I guess, of watching with my children, and it was a very edgy PG-13. Like Harley Quinn ties Nightwing to the bed, and I mean, heavily implied sex. I mean, it really pushes the boundaries in my mind. So I wasn't the hugest fan of that, but that's my bad. I let my kids watch a PG-13 thing, and it was PG-13 for sure. Batman Gotham by Gaslight. This has proven to be one of my favorites of this set. And some people don't like it. I don't know. I can only speak for myself, but it's set in Victorian Gotham, and it's Batman with a little help from Selena Kyle trying to catch Jack the Ripper. So in this version, Jack the Ripper has always been in Gotham, and it's kind of a mystery, and I've heard that it's obvious, but I don't think it is. Like for me, it wasn't. I really was guessing, and I thought it was some one person, and then I was like, oh, I don't really think it is that person. Who could it be otherwise? And there's a few different red herrings, I guess. But anyhow, I really liked it. It's the second R-rated in the set here. I don't really remember anything too awful graphic about it or anything. I mean, he is killing like strippers and prostitutes and stuff and calling them filth and that kind of thing. So, I mean, I guess that's why, but I wasn't even as uncomfortable as I was in that PG-13 movie. So, but I also didn't watch it with my kids. So, I guess that's the difference. Batman, Ninja. Didn't watch that one yet. Batman, the Caped Crusader. This one is interesting because it's voiced by Adam West, and I don't know if you can see on that disc, but it's the Adam West version of Batman. It's that style of animation. And this was kind of a really weird story. Like, I guess it is kind of the kind of thing you would see on the serial, but like there's a gun that makes duplicates and of things, of anything basically, and sorry, my upstairs neighbors turned on their vacuum. If you can hear that, I apologize. But anyway, the Batman, the Caped Crusader. It's, I think Julie Newmar is the voice of Catwoman. It's got Joker, Penguin, Riddler in it. Has some other even C-list I heard the vacuum and I started to say vacuum. C-list, maybe D-list even, bad guys. But it's fun. I mean, it's kind of a crazy story. Goes some pretty weird places, but like, I mean, for instance, Batman and Robin are tied to a giant TV dinner at one point. So, I mean, that's the kind of things you would see on the serial. It's guess now we're mowing. I don't know. Anyhow, Batman the Caped Crusader. It's an interesting show. I really like the animation. The dialogue is a little wonky for me, but I guess that's probably trying to emulate the TV show. I know that was a little bit of a issue with the show, was that it's kind of strange dialogue at times. So anyway, I don't know. It was definitely watchable, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. Batman, Mask of the Phantasm. I will say this is one of the discs that looks different on the menus than all the others. It has no special features, if I remember right, that one. And well, yeah, it looks different than the menu. But anyway, Batman, Mask of the Phantasm, really beloved cartoon, animated. Really cool villain, like a Grim Reaper type. Got Batman, Mask of the Batwoman. I'm not doing a very good job of showing these, sorry. I have not watched that one. Obviously, it probably has Batwoman in it. Superman, Batman, Public Enemies. This one has Lex Luthor becoming president, and some superheroes join him and kind of fall in line and trust what he's doing. He's seemingly keeping his ducks in a row, not doing anything crazy. But then this kryptonite asteroid is coming towards Earth, and his handling of it is sort of that he can do it without the heroes, and there's some questions about that. And anyhow, it basically pits Superman and Batman versus all the other heroes, with the exception of one ally. Oh, no. I'm mixing this up with Dark Knight Returns, so never mind about that. It is, I believe, just Superman and Batman. Well, there is somebody that flips sides. A few people flip sides during the course of the movie. But anyway, Superman and Batman versus other heroes. Power Girl is one of the ones on the other side. We eventually see Hawkman and Shazam, or Captain Marvel. Trying to remember if there's anybody else. I mean, there's definitely some other villains. Definitely this one has the most characters. Well, unless you count the Cape Crusader, which has a lot of the C-list, I said. But anyway, yeah, Superman, Batman, Public Enemies, that's a fun show. Lots of parallels, I think. Superman, Batman, Apocalypse. I did not watch that one yet, so I really don't know what that's about. And then you have your Batman bonus disc, 80th anniversary 18 film collection bonus disc, and I think that one just has it's a feature-length documentary about Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns, and celebration of Batman Night Immortal. I don't really remember exactly what that was about, so I apologize. I did watch that one. I didn't watch the Frank Miller documentary. So anyhow, it's about $50. As you can see, there's 18 films. Oh, you know what? I meant to, while I was going through, to talk about the special features on some discs. Like I said, Mask of the Phantasm does not have the special features, but I think all the others I've come across do. Most of them have the same look in the setup screen, the menu screen, but a few of them don't. I think Public Enemies didn't, and Under the Red Hood didn't. But those two, unlike Mask of the Phantasm, still have a lot of special features on them. For the most part, I think each disc comes with at least, and I've seen up to 5, but at least 2 of the animated series cartoons. A lot of Batman, the animated series, a lot of New Adventures of Batman? I'm not totally sure on that one what the name of it is. There's some Batman Brave and the Bold. For the most part, I haven't really kept those separate in my mind about what's what, but I can say that there's one on the Harley Quinn disc I watched where Harley gets out of jail and she's trying to change her ways, but ends up in trouble and running from the law and has to go back, but she's a little bit redeemed in that one. In The Killing Joke, there is a Christmas episode where the Joker sings, Jingle Bells, Jingle Bells, Batman Smells, whatever it is. I don't know how it goes, but the Batman Smells thing comes up, and he rides a Christmas tree, and I don't know. That's a fun one to watch. Like, I'd probably pull that out around Christmas and show it to my kids and stuff. Trying to think what else I saw. There was one on Gotham by Gaslight that was neat. it had this little short on before, and it was Batman and like golden era Flash, and against Scarecrow. And it was like a Halloween type thing with pumpkins and stuff. And then that led into an episode that was really cool where Batman was brought back in time to help the Demon character. I don't remember his real name, but he's like the hero, the Demon. I think he's a hero. I don't know. The Demon or Demon. I don't know. I'm sorry. I recognize him, but that's about it. DC's the Demon, and Sherlock Holmes is there. So you get Sherlock Holmes and Batman team up, and even though Gotham by Gaslight was also Jack the Ripper, this also has a Jack the Ripper element. You end up finding out who it is, and it's kind of neat because it's a character that shows up later in Batman lore. So it was a cool episode. I like that episode. You also get like the Bob Kane documentary, which it's like 38 minutes. I mean, it's fine. I wish that they had put on this the Batman and Bill documentary, but I guess maybe that would have been controversial to do. I mean, I don't know. As far as I know, there's no Blu-ray release of that, so it would have been cool if it had shown up here. You know what? Now that I think about it, this might have actually came out. I'm a little late to the game on this, so this might have came out after that documentary actually released. So I guess I can't be critical of them on that. I think this is a couple years old. I'm just now seeing it. But anyway, that would be cool to have as a Batman and Bill Blu-ray. But I'm trying to think what else. There's a documentary on the Harley Quinn one that's the Harley Effect. That's a decent little featurette. But for the most part, it's, you know, the episodes of the TV series are kind of cool, and so there's definitely lots of entertainment here for the $50. I'm definitely glad I picked it up. I've enjoyed watching through the movies I have watched, and I look forward to watching the other movies at some point. So, you know, if you're a fan of Batman animated films, then I definitely think this is something you should look into and check out. I think I've taken enough of your time, though, so I'm going to let you guys get out of here, and I appreciate you watching. Subscribe, hit the notification bell if you don't mind, and thanks, and I'll come back with some other collection video at a later date. Bye.